I was just going to ask you guys, like, what does it mean to get out?
It's kind of hard to describe how hard it is to go from being around some of the most motivated humans that you've gotten the chance to do life with on a daily basis to just you. And if that seems dramatic, then I don't think that you've seen or that I've manifested out to the world what we really had here in this office. It was something special. You know, I don't think that there was a day that went by at the office that we didn't acknowledge how beautiful the opportunity we had to work alongside like-minded people chasing their own dreams every day. It's not a secret that most videographers are typically working at home in the spare bedroom that's turned office space. So for me, Drew and Boomer to be in the same space together day in and day out, well, I think we knew that we were kind of living in the golden era of our own stories. And to make this story simple, both Drew and Boomer moved within 24 hours of each other to different locations in the US, which meant I was at the office by myself now. It's Friday, December 1st, 2023, and this is my first day back in the office by myself. And if I look up his location, it looks like Boomer is pulling into Manzanita, Oregon as we speak. When Boomer left, I wrote him a letter that I wanted him to read when he finally got to Oregon, talking about how I wanted our friendship to look going forward, but also the beauty of the friendship that we already had. But when I wrote that letter, I didn't realize that Boomer had also left a letter for us back at the office on the whiteboard. And here's what that letter said.
Hey boys, I'm super emotional writing this. This office space has been one of the greatest gifts of my life these past 3 years. I remember the first day I moved in on December 2nd, 2020. I knew I was craving a creative space that I could steward, multiply, cultivate communities, and in some areas heal myself. Little did I know what it would become what it is today. So many memories running through my head. Brainstorming nights, Monday morning meetings, editing stupid wedding films, an all-nighter and throwing up Taco Bell at 4 a.m. Super Smash Bros, ping pong tournaments, being in alpha state while the dogs play, and a whole workshop from filmmakers all over the world. Lots of tears, lots of laughter, some stressful days, some happy days, and a lot of love. This office has meant so much to me, and when I think about one of the things that I'm most sad about, it's this place. This daylightless cave in the upstairs of a printing warehouse. Thank you for all the memories that I will cherish for a lifetime.
Man, it is sad. And it hurts. But I'm going to make the most of the situation I'm in. So, join me. We'll see how we do. When the boys left, they took everything, including the lights. So to get this office space back to normal, I had a lot of work to do. From the lights, to the decor, to the rug, I focused my time on giving the office a facelift. I was by myself, making this space feel normal again. But even though I was by myself physically, that didn't mean that I had to be mentally. Boomer and I still jumped on weekly Zoom calls to talk about our goals throughout December. Me working by myself was something that was just assumed as an entrepreneur up until I moved into the office space. But then once I tasted the power of working with others, it was like there was no going back for me. And while I didn't have the office space and the community that I had before, I did have a new mindset. You see, as December went by and as the office space started to feel normal again, I also felt like I needed something more to do with my time. I felt like if I was going to be in the office by myself, I might as well work on myself. And how do we work on ourselves? By pushing ourselves. So I decided to self-impose the ridiculous challenge of creating 40 reels in 20 days for Instagram, which kind of seems like a crazy busy work thing to do. It's kind of like, what else am I doing with my time? Why am I filling my time by making all these reels? But if I'm going to be honest with you, it might have been just that. It might have been busy work. It might have been just filling my time with something else. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have done this challenge if Boomer and Drew hadn't have left the office. I wasn't kidding when I said that it really hurt when they left. And I know nobody died, and I know that there's worse things that can happen in life. But it still hurt. And making this video is extremely vulnerable for me to do. Exposing to YouTube, exposing to Instagram the impact of 2 friends leaving my office space. But I'm a firm believer that good things come from hard times. And from this challenge that I completed, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I work really, really well under pressure. And that's what this challenge did, regardless of if it was busy work or not. It gave me something to work toward, a certain amount of things to be done in a certain period of time. And there was also a lot of tangible good that came from that as well. Whether it was just confidence in me posting myself on Instagram or just confidence in posting without overthinking. All of this to say, there was a silver lining to the boys leaving the office, even within the first month. But regardless of the good that happened in December, regardless of the good that's gonna happen in the future, as I try to make the most of my time here to push myself to be better, I'm never gonna stop remembering the good old days with Boomer and Drew. Going back to Boomer's note on the whiteboard, I realized I left off one funny caveat that he wrote in his letter.
If anyone erases this, I will burn this place to the ground.
And while this note couldn't live forever on the whiteboard, I truly believe that its sentiment can live on in other ways, not just in the office, but in all of our lives. And as I finally erased his note on the whiteboard after a month of being up, I was reminded of a trip that all 3 of us had been on to the Faroe Islands a while back. Specifically of a question that was asked at the end of our trip.
But I would just want to ask you guys, what does it mean to get out?
I think it's the way I want to live. This really starts from seeing a picture of the Faroe Islands, typing it on to maps and finding where it is and looking at just how far away I was from it. Maybe I'll get there when I'm 70 or retired or whatever. Every year I had written on my list for New Year's resolutions, go to Faroe Islands, and it just never worked out. Or someone never pushed me to do that. So Cody was like, hey, kind of gave me just that extra kick in the butt that I needed, that, yo, I will book this right now. Let's do it. Come on, let's make this happen. So I think it's just more about that, of just having people around you that will actually push you. I mean, the people you surround yourself with are incredibly important.
To me, it's get out of your comfort zone. And a comfort zone is a dangerous spot. When I go on trips like this, there's always some kind of cliff. And I always think about the fact of what if I fall off? And sometimes that can manifest itself as fear. And it's nothing that overwhelms me, but it is a reminder of the fact that in life, there's fear that holds us back from things. And there's an easy path right through the middle of the fear. And really all we have to do is trust ourselves with it, because I am a capable human and I'm going to be fine. And there's reward at that destination on the other side.
Every time an opportunity comes up, it just happens to be so convenient to always have a reason not to. I realized it was a pattern and a habit of just always having a reason not to do whatever was scary or whatever I was afraid of. As justified and as legitimate as those reasons seemed, I realized that they weren't. It was actually just fear. It was disguised as justification and legitimate reasoning. It was actually on the other side of all that fear was an incredible experience. You won't ever regret getting out. You just won't. You just won't regret it.
As we go our separate ways, my hope is that we go and steward, multiply, heal, and cultivate community to wherever we end up. Love you, boys. Boom.